Culinary Snapshots.
Hi! Welcome to Culinary Snapshots. I am Adrian Bush, Director of 50 Plus Ministries at First United Methodist Church.
And I'm Kate Wheaton, Director of Hospitality at First United Methodist Church.
Yes, and 50 Plus's theme this year is owning our own brain health.
And to go along with that today, we are going to prepare just a delicious lentil soup that's packed full of plant protein and, healthy gut, healthy brain.
Yes, and we are first going to prep our ingredients.
All right, first you want to prep your vegetable stock. We used a paste to do that, and we have got 6 cups of stock. Then the next thing that we got ready to go was we have a red onion, we have 2 sticks of celery, and we have 3 chunky carrots. You could use little carrots, big carrots, and those are ready to go also. The other thing that, of course, you're going to need for a lentil soup is your lentils. We're using brown lentils. They have been rinsed. We have a cup and a half of brown lentils. You could use green lentils, although they are a little harder to find. We've got 3 cloves of garlic. We have some kale that we're going to pop in at the end. Not to forget our fabulous spices. It has a little Indian twist to it, so we're using turmeric, super good for us. We're using cumin, curry powder, and paprika, so it's got just a little warmth to it. And then last but not least, we're choosing to add butternut squash.
Now, do you have to have butternut squash?
You could use potato. I think the sweet potato probably, but that tends to cook down and be a little more mushy, but you could definitely use potatoes instead. So, and then over and above that, we've just got a can of tomatoes, and these are just garnishes for the edge. So a can of tomatoes. So ready to go.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of oil to our pan, which is already nicely warmed. And then we're going to slide in our vegetables just like that. Now we want to give those a quick stir. And then we are going to just leave them to do their thing. Now, to help your vegetables soften, a really good tip is if you have saved the paper from a stick of butter, you could use that, or you can just use a regular piece of greaseproof paper and just push that down on the top, and that's going to let the steam come up and hit the paper and just keep the moisture in there, and your vegetables will soften quicker. So we're going to leave that for about 5 minutes. You just want to take this off and check it partway through your cooking. I've just turned mine down a little bit, and as you can see, those vegetables are softening nicely. We're just going to give that another minute, and then we're going to add some more ingredients. We're about to add in our garlic. So garlic tends to burn quite quickly, which is why I don't like to add it right at the beginning. So we'll add that in now. And you can smell, I wish you could smell how delicious that is as it just begins to let loose its fragrance. I'm going to put another quick squeeze of olive oil in there and give it a stir. I want to let that sit for just a second. And now we're going to add our beautiful spices. Sprinkle those in. And again, you just want to toast those spices so that you don't have a raw flavor to them. When you warm them up, that helps them release all their flavors. Again, smells really good. Right, so now we're going to tip in our nice clean lentils. Give them a little stir and a chance to start soaking up those beautiful spices. There we go. Gosh, lovely. Now in goes a pan of tomatoes. We have some frozen green beans. You could use fresh if you have them, but we're going to pop those in there too. We've got about a generous cup and about a pound of butternut squash. I'll give that a bit of a stir. Who said lentil soup was boring? Look at that. And now I'm going to cover that with our chicken, with our vegetable stock. We're going to bring that up to a simmer, and then we're going to let that simmer for about 40 minutes until our lentils are cooked. Okay, so look, our soup has come up to the boil. You can see there's little bubbles coming around the edge. Once you get to that point, you can turn it down. You can see, look, I've just stirred it, so it's taking a minute for it just to come back. But there we go, happy soup. I'm just going to turn that down a fraction, and we are going to half cover it, because we want to keep some of the moisture in and we don't want everything to evaporate, but we do want it to get on with it and cook. Okay, so our soup has been cooking now for 35 minutes and we've given it a bit of a stir and a taste. The lentils are nicely softened, so I would say it's ready to go. But just before we finish up, we're just going to add a couple of handfuls of kale. Remember, you could use spinach instead, but you do want those lovely leafy greens, and the reason you add them at the ends is so they keep all those nice antioxidants and they cook super quickly. So really, I've turned the heat off. We're just going to put that in with the lid on and just leave that to sit for a minute before we serve it up. So our soup is done.
Yay!
And we are ready to show you how to plate that up to make a hearty, healthy midweek, supper. Meat-free Mondays is quite a popular idea. It helps you to pack some more vegetables and fiber into your diet. And remember that lentils are super rich in protein, plant protein. They've got magnesium, they've got zinc, they've got vitamin B. They are just really, good for you in every way.
And the turmeric will help with your gut health, which is always good for your brain health.
All right, so without further ado, let's portion some of this up.
Yeah.
Put some straggly kale there. But, oh my gosh, it smells so good. So we're going to do 2 hearty bowls of that. Just use my spoon just to chop that in, and then I'll get out the way. Adrian, you can just dig in.
Right.
I've got a little friend around here.
Yes.
He's also very keen on getting some soup. We've got some Greek yogurt here. You could use sour cream, but we're just going to put a little blob, aesthetically pleasing and anticipating that it's going to be spicy. And like all foods, the longer you keep it, the spicier it gets and the more settled the flavors are. And if I was making this for a family, I may well make it the day before and let it sit and reheat, because the flavors just melt a little better. I've got some nice green parsley to go on the top. You can skip that if you want to. It's got quite a lot of kale in there. I'm going to perk it up with a little zest of lemon on the top there, a little bit of lemon juice. And this is za'atar seasoning. Look, kind of looks like a bit of a bagel mix, maybe.
Yes, it's
got an unusual,
interesting bouquet.
So we are going to put some of that on the top. And I hope you will all give that a try. I know we've got a little touch of spring in the air at our house, but it's still super cold out there. And this will be nourishing and warm and maybe something you haven't tried before.
Yes, thanks for coming to Culinary Snapshots, guys.
See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Culinary Snapshots.